Hi, I'm Edgar Hernandez.
And I'm Nuri Robles. And this is
Bar Talking
Bar. Your access to the heartbeat of New York City's bar and hospitality scene.
Hosted straight from the city that never sleeps, we sit down with bartenders, brands and ambassadors, hospitality pros, and cocktail lovers.
Whether it's the art of bartending, the hustle behind hospitality, or the wildest bar tales, expect raw conversations and industry secrets.
Listen to the people who pour your favorite cocktails and keep the nightlife alive.
If you love bars, spirits, and the stories that bring them to life, follow us, share, and subscribe to keep the conversations flowing.
The podcast that you didn't know you need.
New episodes weekly. Hello. Welcome back to your podcast, Bar Talking.
Talking Bar.
I'm Nuri Robles.
And I'm Edgar Hernandez.
And we have another episode, Edgar.
What? What's today?
Today, it's another episode with some VIP guests.
Pal VIP. Hey.
So, we're starting a series for Women's Month, and we have a big representation in the house. We're going to say it, Edgar. Denise
Sánchez.
from La Condesa.
Wow, so energetic you are.
I'm being like...
From La Condesa.
Well, thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Denise, it is an honor for us to have you. We met each other a while ago. We know you've been working with Condesa for a little bit. Mm-hmm. It's been over 3 years now, if I don't recall. We had a small conversation. But before we go to La Condesa, we always want to start by introducing yourself to know who the person is behind the brand. If you want to give us a little bit of where you're coming from, mm-hmm. who Denise is. Yeah,
because I know many people know you, but some people know. So the audience wants to know.
We want some chisme.
Some chisme. I love chisme.
Industry secrets.
Well, soy Denise. I'm from Chicago, born and raised. I've been in New York for 7.5 years now. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, time flies.
Time really, really does fly. But from Chicago, proud first generation Mexican American.
That's right.
Hey, Mexican in the house.
Yes. My dad's from Mexico City and my mom is from Durango.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you know how to dance Huapango?
Duranguense.
The Duranguense. Sí. You know, I didn't really grow up like listening to rancheras or like Duranguense. I mean, I only went to Durango as a little kid, maybe like twice. Mm. I mostly grew up going to La Ciudad de Mexico.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. But I like it. Going to the rodeos. My cousins love it. They really do.
And I know up in Durango, because it's closer to the border, people like to, some of the bull riders love to have helmets and like kind of those protection vests, and sometimes shin guards too, from what I've seen. Down south in Oaxaca, Puebla, they just ride,
just without protection.
Without protection. They just have pants on and a belt. Sometimes not even a shirt.
I've seen some videos and it looks terrifying.
Yeah, you're rideable.
No, definitely not. I would never do that.
The only bull that I could probably ride is the one that's located in Wall Street.
Oh my god!
If you can, otherwise you can just touch the balls.
If you make the line.
I actually have a story about riding like a mechanical bull.
All right, tell us.
I broke my tailbone.
Landing?
Yeah. I went to, this was like during college, and my friend and I went to this bar, and it was like a rodeo type of bar, and they had a mechanical bull, and she's like, come on, let's get on it. I was like, no. I'm okay. You do it first. And she did it first, and she was fine. And then it was my turn to go up there, and when I fell off of the bull, the inflatable part of it was not inflated properly.
Oh, shoot.
I don't know what happened, like, after she, like, came off. And I heard, like, oh. I was like, oh, shit. That was super painful.
Yeah.
You went to, like, the doctor or something?
Yeah, I went immediately the next morning. And I lived right next to a hospital, actually, so that was a good thing. And they took an x-ray, and they're like, yeah, you broke your tailbone.
So what was the procedure?
You can't do anything because you can't put a cast
You can't.
on your ass. And
I was picturing that. I was like, what's happening?
yeah, I don't recommend it. It's like one of the most painful things ever.
You can't sit down. You can probably do something.
No, so I had to like take off work, and you have to buy like one of those donuts to like sit. But most of the time you're like resting in bed.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
It's like
That
6
really
weeks or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sucked. But that's
here you are.
that's my story.
Well, you know.
Mechanical bull, so
Not
no
yet.
bull riding for me.
But you did it. You did it. You did it. So it's out of the, what is it? The checklist.
Yeah.
The checklist?
Yeah. That's it. But I'm afraid to go skiing because I hear like I've never been skiing or snowboarding, but I've heard like it's easy to break your tailbone.
Yeah.
Because you fall a lot, so it's
I had the opportunity to try it because, I wasn't born here as either. So when I moved to New York, eventually someone was like, let's go and do a ski or snowboarding. And I was like, I never done that. So I remember I went there and I was so excited. And the first thing I tried was snowboarding. So then you take the car to go up. And then once we landed on the top of the hill, I was like, so now what I'm going to do? And then they said, you just go and slide. And I was like, I don't know how to do that.
They didn't give you lessons? Or like
Kind of, but if it's never done. Yeah. So I try it. And
I watched the Revenant. That's what she said.
I probably
know how to ski.
Slide like, I don't know, like 10 feet. And I was like, boom, down. So I got really scared. And the only thing that I did, it was like just slide with my butt all the way to the down, because it took me like an hour to get down. And then you see all these babies like 2-3 years old, like,
was it like a baby mountain? That's what I would probably do.
No. And then
was like a big one.
And then I try ski, but you feel a little safer because at least you have 2 feet to kind of like control free, but it still is like super hard.
Yeah, no, it
then,
looks easy, but I'm sure it's
scary. It's scary.
Never done it. Never will try it, I guess.
Would you try it?
No, I've never done it.
No, but you would like to?
Possibly, but it's not. It's not on my checklist.
Yeah,
because I know people who's done it and they fracture bones.
Yeah,
like
I've heard
snowboarding.
Stories. Yeah,
I'd rather just do like a skateboard, like slowly. You know, I was trying to learn also when I was younger. And I fell a couple of times also on my tailbone and my wrist. You fall and...
Yeah, I'm too old for that now.
Because when you're young, you feel like
when you're young, you could do anything.
Yeah, you can break bones, no problem. They will replace them.
It's okay if you break a few bones.
Nowadays, it's hard. It's hard. Yeah, exactly. That was like, I won't be working for like at least the next 6 months.
Yeah. We can't do that.
Not anymore.
Anyway, but let's go back to Denise from Chicago.
I mean, my first job, I was I was selling Mexican candy out of my apartment. I just noticed that every time we go to Mexico and I would bring the candy, and all the kids in my neighborhood, they wanted the Mexican candy. I was like, well, there's a business here. So I remember my dad taking me to, there was like in Chicago, there's a bunch of stores just selling Mexican candy, and we bought a lot. And I would like tell all the little kids to come and buy. So that was like kind of like my first little,
what I was
little
thinking?
job, I guess.
I was like, guess what? I have a plug for candy.
Yeah.
I know somebody.
Where in Chicago are you from?
So my parents now live by Midway Airport. And then I also lived in the west suburbs of Chicago, in Wheaton. So I went to grade school and high school in Wheaton, and then I moved into the city for college.
Okay. And, so, what did you study in college?
In college, I did art and design. I went to Columbia College of Chicago.
Oh,
yeah, in fashion studies. So my first hospitality job was Denny's. I started serving there. I was 17, so it was like my junior and senior year of high school, and then I worked there for 2 years. Once I graduated high school, I moved into Chicago, city proper, and and then I started going to college there.
So we have a couple of guests that they also talk about working in McDonald's, Burger King, and chains. And I feel like many people believe that if you work in those restaurants, it's like fast food and doesn't have respect as if you work in fine dining or whatever. But I feel like many people who work in these restaurants or the chains, you have a build hospitality. How was your training or your experience working at Denny's?
At Denny's, I think it was, for me, I was a very shy kid, and I just wanted to get out of my shell, and that working at Denny's, you have to talk to people. So it really helped me in that sense of getting out of my shell, talking to people, not being afraid. And I learned so many people skills in that sense. But I was kind of terrified because I remember working my first Denny's Sunday breakfast shift, and it was so busy. That was oh shit, this is a lot of people.
And close the door.
It's such a fast-paced, high turnover, your tables. And having 5 tables, 6 tables at a time, and everyone, the morning rush, and people are hungry and they want their food. And I remember I was still really new. I think it was my first week. And my coworkers were super helpful. Everyone was really great to me. And I think I messed up because one table that had sat first got their food. They noticed that another table got their food first that got there after them. But I think it was an appetizer, and they were upset. So they complained, where's my food? And my GM, at the time, he was a scary man. Jesus, actually, we became really cool after. But I was very intimidated by him because he was a very serious man. And he, I was in the kitchen, and he comes up. He's like, whose table is, I forgot the table number. But I was like, that's me. And he got in my face, was super close in my face. And he's like, why don't they have their food? They're complaining. And, he's yelling at me. And I was like, holy shit, I haven't had anyone talk to me like this. Unless it was my parents, but my dad. And one of my other coworkers kind of came in and rescued me, and I was ready to cry. I was I don't want to do this anymore. I want to get the hell out of here. And my coworker noticed that I was freaking out, and then was calm me down and was don't worry, everything's fine. And then I survived the shift, and from then on, I thought I was going to quit, but I kept going. And
do you remember why they didn't get their food first? Did you forget to put the order?
No, I don't think I did. I think they just saw someone else's appetizer come out first, and they thought that they were, getting food.
And that happened very often because when somebody sits first and they order a burger is going to take longer Because if you want to, especially if you ask for a medium well burger,
Yeah.
it's going to take longer than a
That's
salad.
longer. Yeah.
So it's normal that happens. But sometimes when our guests don't know the steps of service or what goes behind the scenes, because you put an order in, and, it's going to take some time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's good that we're saying, that because that happens very often.
Yeah.
And
I don't remember exactly like the situation, but I remember
Being yelled at.
being yelled at. But it really teaches you as some things. And I really enjoyed working at Denny's, and everything was so fast paced and like high volume. So it was a really good experience for me. And then once I've always had like 2 to 3 jobs at the same time. In college, I was also working retail, and it was either like retail, and then I would work at restaurants. I worked at a sushi restaurant. That was like my first time trying sushi ever. And then I was working at Bloomingdale's as well. And then I also worked in Chicago. It was like a lot of summer festivals. So that was like my first time. I think like a friend got me a gig like pouring beer for people. And
do you remember what festival or what?
It was like one of those summer like Taste of Randolph or something like that in Chicago in the West Loop. And it was so much fun. It was like easy, like easy, and then getting tips and easy money. And it was only for like a few hours. You get to like meet people, and everyone's in a good mood. So from then I kind of like learned there was all these different like marketing agency staffing companies. A friend of mine, like that's all she did. And she introduced me to more of those kind of companies. So I found some, and then I worked for another one called MKTG, and they did liquor tastings. So I was like doing either restaurants or like liquor store tastings. And that was kind of like my first, even though working at restaurants, I, dealt with alcohol, but that was like my first experience because we had to get educated with what we were pouring. So, and then that was they only did tastings for Diageo products. So we would have to go to the distributor, and then they would educate us about the spirits that we were pouring. So I did that for a really long time, actually, all throughout college and even after, because it was so super easy to like pick up, gigs, and I think they were paying like $25 to $30 an hour. So as like a college student, that was like easy money again.
Yeah, of course. There's 2 pictures of each.
And during that time, going to college and working, did you think it like, oh, this is going to be a side job and then I'm going to go and do my college degree?
I did want to do fashion, but like I think after college, I kind of just stayed in hospitality, and it just kind of didn't feel like I don't know. I felt like it kind of chose me, and the path of working in hospitality. So I never really like pursued anything in fashion. I think I kind of got like sick of the retail world. It was, and always working all the holidays and long hours.
Yeah.
Less money.
Yeah, and less money, yeah.
And I think also when you go to college, sometimes like doing networking compared with hospitality, I think hospitality is easier to do networking and getting more access to the industry. Like, if you are a bartender or server, it's like there's probably like 20, 30, 50 jobs that you can look at it. Whereas if you are recently a college student that just got out of college, finding a job is very hard.
Yeah.
Because then you have to deal with internships. you have to deal with your resume that sometimes you don't have the experience, and it's kind of like the downside of going to college, because you also see this image of like, oh, I'm gonna be this designer or this, producer or whatever. But then once you step out of the college, it's like reality is completely different.
Yeah, it's difficult to like really find,
And it's also a very
job.
competitive.
Yeah.
For what I've seen, I'm a bartender, but I've worked, especially twice a year. There's always Fashion Week here in New York.
Yeah.
And you see all these people come from all over the world,
Yeah.
gathering here for the new style or whatever is working, like someone is working, which is amazing because I see now retail stores and then you see a lot of clothing from, probably, the thing is there's new clothing every week.
Yeah.
And I think we used to wear for fall and winter, but now everybody's like coming up with a new design.
Yeah.
I think that's great too.
In college, I did an internship for Latino Fashion Week, it was. So I did a couple of fashion shows, and I would be like backstage dressing the models and like steaming the clothes and all of that, and which was really fun. So I think at one point I wanted to be like a stylist. And I also really, when I was working at Bloomingdale's, I really enjoyed that. I love fashion and art, anything creative. But I think like being the one to create it was, for me, I kind of lost interest in that sense. But I love visually like putting things together.
Yeah, especially like we were saying, like, sometimes when you study, for example, like you said, fashion, and you dream like, oh, I'm gonna do this T-shirt or this dress, and it's gonna be like that, and but so then you start working, like you stop working in Bloomingdale's, and then you go.
Yeah, and then after that, I moved back home for a little bit, back into my parents, and then I was working at this Latin fusion restaurant called Barbacoa. It's not there anymore, but that one, I really enjoyed working there. I think I worked there for like another 2 or 3 years, and that's when I quit retail, and then I went back to serving. And I would like always look at the bartender, and I thought it was so cool, like them making drinks. I was like, I want to learn how to bartend. And they were like, okay, like get behind the bar. And so that was kind of like my first experience bartending. And the bartenders there were like free pouring. Nothing really like measuring with the jiggers or anything like that. So that's kind of how I learned. But, we were making like very simple kind of drinks, nothing fancy. And then also that was kind of like the first time where a manager would bring a brand ambassador, like a rep for tequila brands. And we had like that kind of like education too. And I was like, I was asking the person that I had met, and I think it was for Avion Tequila, actually. And I was like, how did you get to do what you're doing? And I thought that was super interesting. I would ask a lot of questions. But yeah, I worked there for a little bit, and then I left that place, and then I went to another restaurant that was opening up in the west suburbs of Chicago, and it was like a Mexican concept called Cubo, and it was owned by a Mexican family. They had they had a bunch of little restaurants, like maybe 4 locations, called the Bien Trucha Group, and
Bien Trucha?
Yeah. The restaurants are like, one's called Bien Trucha, the other one Cubo, and A Toda Madre. And then they opened up like a different concept called Santo Cielo. But so I got hired there, and it was like a new opening. And then I worked there for like a few years. Mostly serving. And I think that one we did everything. Like we were bussing tables, hosting, serving. And then I got into being a bartender there. And my beverage director was like super nerdy. He had so many kinds of agave. He had like a lot of tequila, sotol, raicilla, everything. Such a nerd. And he also was really big on the education part. So I learned a lot about mezcal and stuff with him. And from there, I went to their new concept, Santo Cielo, and worked there also like serving for a year or so.
Going back that you mentioned that you were a shy person working at Denny's through the years, working on so many restaurants, how do you build your confidence? What do you think it helped you to build that confidence?
I think just kind of most of the time just being thrown into the lion's den, basically.
Fight.
Yeah. Just with practice and time and like, getting out of your head of like, it's okay. Like it's, we're all humans, we're all people. And like, there's no reason why to be shy. Yeah. You're there to like have, create an experience for people to enjoy, their time at the restaurant and have a good time going to eat, and I think that's what kind of I was like out of, getting out of my head. I think so.
But it's important that you mentioned that because, coming from like, okay, I'm gonna work on my degree and this is like a side job that I get money, but at the same time you work, conscious about this is hospitality and creating an experience for the guests and giving you that sense of like creation as well. Because I feel like when you're a designer, you also want to show, someone that if you're designing this T-shirt, you want that person to feel happy when
feel
you
good.
So I feel like we have that.
Yeah, I think also I fell in love with hospitality. I never really saw it as a career, working in hospitality, but I really fell in love with it. And I think the fashion kind of went down, my interest in that. And I stayed in hospitality.
And so talking about, this month of, representation of women, how was your experience as a woman working in this industry back in the day in Chicago?
For me, it was really good. One of my GMs from Barbacoa, actually, she was a woman, and she was one of the hardest working women that I've met. Like she was like living and breathing, her job. And I really looked up to her, and I was like, wow, like she's such a badass.
I want to be like
running the whole show, being a really good leader. She was a really good, really great GM. And it's a tough job, like for sure, handling a lot, the whole restaurant. So she was like one of the women, the first like woman that I looked up to in the hospitality industry.
Yeah.
How's your family taking that you were? I always make this question because I feel like I just want to try to transfer that idea of like working in any industry doesn't mean that it's not a good job. It's just a different choice. In many cultures, we have the idea of like, if you don't even go to college or you don't have a degree, you're not a professional, But I feel like nowadays we can show that, definitely, it's not like you literally need a degree, but your experience through many years is like going to college, right?
Yeah. So, that's like working in the real world, and that's where you learn everything. I mean, college is great. I loved my experience, but I definitely
Yeah, I feel like a lot of the experiences that we live is how we learn.
Yeah.
Especially in the service industry, because you can go to culinary school and learn how to be a chef. Now there are bartending school where you can learn how to be a bartender. Back in the day, I mean, it was only reading and basically looking for information. Nowadays, there's more information out there. And what really reminds me of that is that you just mentioned, at the bar, one of the restaurants you were working, the bartender, he was nerdy. He wanted to know. He wanted
the
to.
beverage factory,
He was willing to share the information to, and that's very
pass
important.
on the knowledge to us.
Exactly. And that's important because it also gives you that same confidence, right? Of course, you talk to guests all of the time and it becomes more natural. But at the same time, it's like, what am I here to sell? What kind of product I have here today, like feel excited and happy about it. Especially when you have, as I told, especially in Chicago.
Yeah.
Chicago, there's a different, I feel like in New York, we have a lot of people from Puebla and Oaxaca.
Yeah.
In Chicago,
I know, I learned it was Puebla, York.
Yeah, exactly.
When I first moved here.
Yeah.
I was like, everyone's from Puebla.
Exactly. And I know in Chicago, there's a lot of people from Michoacan and Chihuahua and like north, like Sonora, Zacatecas, exactly. Durango, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's a different, in a way, I mean, people sometimes when we talk about Mexico is big and, we have different ways of eating the same food and we call it differently, even if it's Spanish. But talking about sotol, this person is talking about sotol. Now, this happened in New York, right? Like, we had a sotol boom this, past couple years.
Yeah.
But in the past, like, it's been there, like...
Yeah, it's been there for a long time.
Exactly. And it just, like, made a boom. And I think it's exciting that if you learn something about that spirit in particular, pass it along. The same thing with anything else that you said. But from what I'm... understanding is that you worked at a Mexican restaurant, right?
Yeah, that was like that's where I felt comfortable.
Yeah, no, and the food's great. The food's great.
I love Mexican food. And you said that you fall in love. What makes you fall in love in hospitality?
I think it's like connecting with people and being able to like. It feels good when people leave like happy, they had a good time. I think for me that's like super validating and a really good feeling for me to be able to like give people that experience.
Yeah. It's uplifting.
Yeah. It is, totally.
Like, oh my God, I made this person feel so good.
Yeah, like you also, I always like when I go up to tables, like try to like joke around. I love joking around. So like try to joke around with them and making people laugh and just, having a good time.
Do you have like a spiel for like, every table, you read the table, right? But do you have like a, like a spiel or you change it every time or?
Oh, like when I was serving?
Yeah. Like this, like the typical like, hello, I'm going to be your server.
I'm Denise. I'm going to be your server tonight. Yeah. I mean, I think it was different I tried to change it up. But yeah, I mean, we had to like, before we became a server, like we had to learn the menu, take tests and we also had to do like the spiel of like, how the service went. And because at Cuba, it was more like sharing plates and like the food came out when it was ready to come out. And sometimes like at that point, some people didn't understand that kind of service. But yeah, I definitely had different types of spiels, I guess. Yeah.
Good seller. I mean, also like
the upselling, right?
Yeah.
Like,
that's
sell. Oh, yeah. And then they would do like little contests of like, if you sell... whoever sells the most margaritas or, or wine or whatever, they were trying to upsell. Like, that was always, too, like a fun challenge.
Like being the employee of the
Did you guys get a prize? Like
yeah, we would get like the bottle of wine or a bottle of tequila.
Hey, sign me up.
Like that.
You guys need help? Let me know.
Or a gift card. That was always good. Money.
Yeah. That's cool. So when did you decided to move to New York, or why?
So after, I moved here 2018, October of 2018. My cousin Bianca was already living in New York. Mm-hmm. She had been living in New York for quite some time. I think she lived here a total of 10 years. Mm-hmm. But when she first moved to New York, I came with her. Like her and her then-time boyfriend, like moved out. We drove out here. It was in the winter too, because I spent New Year's here, and that was like my first time. You know, you always hear about New York, and I was like, "Ooh, it's like a really cool city." So I'd come to visit her, and I think, in 2018, I just kind of was feeling stuck at home, and I wanted to leave. Like, you know, also I love my family, but it could be a little too much. I was like, I need distance.
You want to be out of the show.
Yes, yeah, I need distance from them. And I was between LA or New York, because I had a lot of friends from college who moved.
You chose well.
I love California. Like, I had a lot of college friends who moved there.
Who moved to California?
Yeah, and I grew up like visiting California. I have a lot of family out there. So my cousin's like, "Come move with me. Like, you can stay with me." And that was...
We will conquer the world.
Yeah, that was amazing. That was super helpful, because I think if I didn't have her, I would have never survived New York. So she convinced me, and I told my parents. I was like, "I'm moving to New York." Yeah, my dad was not happy. He's like, "¿Qué vas a hacer allá?"
Send me your location. Call me when you get home.
So I was like, "I'm doing it. I'm going to get out of here." So I literally had zero plan to I was like, let me try it out for 6 months. And, you know, I didn't have a job, and I left the restaurant, and I moved in with my cousin, and I stayed with her for 5 or 6 months, and I started to look for a job right away. And I was like, "Oh, I'll get a restaurant job. It'll be easy." And I went out one day. I visited a lot of restaurants. I really wanted to work at Atla, because I think they had just opened, and watching Chef's Table, Enrique Olvera, and I was like, "Oh my God, that looks so cool." Cosme. I was like, "No, well, Cosme is too fancy for me. I can't.
I'm going to start.
I'm like, let me start here." And I almost got hired there, but I didn't get called back. But
it's two of us.
Yeah, you tried to work there too.
I tried.
Yeah.
Me too.
Actually, Javi, you guys know Javi.
Yeah.
He was one of the first people. He was bartending there. I think he was the head bartender. I don't know, but he was one of the first people that I met, and they were like, I went to a couple different restaurants, and they're like, do you have experience here in New York? I was like, "No, but from Chicago. I've worked restaurants in Chicago." And no, I was really tough. Yeah, it was really tough to find a serving job in New York. No one wanted to hire me.
I mean, it's funny, because I feel like sometimes you want to try to be honest, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, "No, I don't have experience," or whatever. And then you learn that, well, you have to put 3 different names of restaurants that you can say, "Oh, they closed. They closed."
I'm really bad at
Yeah.
I'm a bad liar. I was super honest. But I was like, what? It's the same, high volume, right? I'm like, I worked at Denny's. I can do anything. Yeah, of course. And I ended up finding through a friend at a catering company. It was like a Jewish catering company. So I was serving for that, but I did not like it. It was bad. It was like hard work. I think I worked there for like a month.
Money wise, or
it was just like it was very different. I did not enjoy my time, but
catering is different than
Yeah, and I worked for I worked for a catering company in Chicago. It was like a small catering company. We did a lot of weddings and but that was a great experience. So then I was able to find a restaurant job, this new restaurant called Brooklyn Chop House. They had just opened. And the GM there, he's like, well, I don't have any serving positions or bartender, but you can be a host. I was like, damn. It's like, I haven't hosted in a while, and like the money isn't that good hosting, but I was like, okay, well, I need a job. So I took it, and within like my first day, like the other host quit. Oh. And then the maitre d' also quit like a few days after. So it was like
you're promoted.
Yeah. So I was like managing, and then the GM, they were using breadcrumb. Is it breadcrumb?
Yes.
Yeah. The POS system, and we also had like just gotten I think it was Resi, I'm not sure, but I was like helping him, like, he didn't really know how to work it. So I was like managing the front, and then I quickly got promoted to events manager. So I was like managing the floor a couple times a week. And I worked there for like a little bit over a year. Yeah. Oh. And then during that time, I had gone back home for Christmas, and when I was working at Cubo, when I was bartending, I met the importer of G4 tequila, and he lived really close to there, and he would always come in, and we became friends, and I was like, if you ever need help with G4, like I've done tastings. I worked for like this marketing company, and he like put me in touch with his rep, and then I helped her at a few tastings with G4. And then we had a huge seminar. They brought Felipe Camarena to the restaurant because we sold a ton of G4. We're like probably their best account.
Wow.
And I met Felipe and his son, and I fell in love with G4. It was such a good tequila.
Really good tequila.
Really great tequila. And so him and I kept in touch. And then when I went back home for Christmas, he's like, "Are you trying to stay in New York?" I was like, I really like it. And I'm like, "Yeah, I think I'll try to stay." And so he's like, "Well, I'm looking for a market manager." And I was like, "Well, hire me." Of course.
Hello.
Yeah, I was like, "Give me the job." So then when I came back, like I started working for him, and I was also working at the restaurant. Mm-hmm. So my first year I worked nonstop.
Were you still at the same restaurant?
Yeah, I was still at Brooklyn Chop House and doing G4. It was more like, kind of part-time. And then he also had like a few other brands in the portfolio that he was working with. So I was doing that as well. And that was kind of like my first ever market manager job with a brand. I didn't really have too much experience. I was like, not knowing really what I was doing, but I really enjoyed it. And then I worked with them for 4 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then one of my events that I worked was the Agave Festival at Añejo. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you guys have ever been to that, but they do like the Agave night or something, a bunch of brands that go. And I forget what year that was, but I did that. And I met Lalo and Lulu from Casa Azul.
Shout out to Casa Azul.
Yes, Casa Azul is the best. So I met them there, and they were telling me about that they had just opened up Casa Azul, and like they're super friendly, like great people. I felt like they're good energy, and so I went. I was still at the restaurant, but I really wasn't happy there. The one of the owners was really mean, but so
I'm a chopper. Pew pew.
and I miss I miss the Mexican like restaurant because that's what I like. I'm used to.
I'm Mexican
and I'm comfortable with. So I went to see them. A friend was telling me that they were looking for servers. So I went to go meet with Lulu, and I guess it was like an interview. And she was like, I need, someone to cover a few shifts. And I was like, oh, I can totally like help you out. So I started working at Casa Azul serving. And then I left the other restaurant, and then I was still doing G4. And they became like my family. And during the pandemic, like I didn't go home at all that year. So I spent Thanksgiving with them, Christmas, New Year's. So, they really took me in, treated me like family. And I worked there for 3 years, I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
Shout out to Casa Azul and our team.
And then during like the last year, Lalo met one of the founders of Condesa. He came in and was pitching the brand to Lalo, and ended up drinking like a lot of margaritas. he's like, hey, like I'm looking for someone to join our brand here in New York, and if you know of anybody. And Lalo was like, I know the perfect person. So he told me about it and put me in touch with the founder, one of the founders, and that's how I met Jordi and connected with him, and here we are.
Here we are. 3.5 years.
Yeah. So how do you did you ever had I believe you have it, but you can tell the audience that moment of like, remember when you said that you were working at the restaurant and you saw a brand ambassador for the first time, and then working at this G4 or Condesa, having that moment of like, oh my God, I'm doing this. Do you feel like that emotion, excitement, or like fear? What do you feel?
Definitely excitement. I was like, I mean, all of my jobs, mostly was like, well, after like the retail and some of the restaurants, I got through like meeting people and them connecting me. So I feel super blessed and lucky in that way. So I've had like, very non-traditional kind of interviews, and definitely super excited to like work for a brand. But I was like, I don't know what I'm doing really, but but we're gonna figure it out.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of like let's call it women, but like kids that they are out there, and sometimes we doubt ourselves, or you feel like one of the things that I really admire about you is that when you say, oh, I'm shy, right? Even when I invite you here, you were like, oh, I'm shy. I feel like definitely you can feel shy, but I think you're very, very powerful because, you know that having that being brave enough, first of all, to not quitting Denny's.
Yeah.
At the first gelato. And then you said, I go through these 2 years and you ended up enjoying it, learning it. I feel like you have that resilience of like, it's hard, but I can make it. And I
make it work.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think like I've been afraid to do many things, but moving past the fear and still doing it and still just trying. Like, I mean, you're not going to lose anything, if you don't.
You can only fracture a bone.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. You learn some lessons.
Right? I was gonna say, I had to use it.
You learn the hard way, let me tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah, by failing, you have to try, and if it doesn't work out, it's okay.
Yeah.
Like, you just move on and do the next thing and pursue what your interests are, and everything that's meant for you will find. Like, you can't mess it up. It'll find you.
It'll find you.
Yeah.
And the cool thing is that like you mentioned, people will connect you because you know the kind of person you are. And like in this industry is so, well, I'm in love with this industry for so many reasons.
Yeah.
One of them is, sorry, I'm choking. Huh? No. I'm in love with this industry because I know so many people through this industry. First of all, so many people from so many different parts of the world.
Yeah,
that's one thing. Oh, are you crying with me? Are we crying right now?
We're crying.
No, but like that's the thing. You connect with people from different parts of the world.
Yeah,
you get to taste so much good food from different parts of the world. You get to taste so many different spirits and wines. Explore other things. This is not just about getting you a glass of water. This is like the one thing that we are passionate about. Because at the end of the day, like you say, right, you're making somebody feel special.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't buy that.
Yeah. You can't buy it.
It's within you, like it doesn't come in a pack of a cereal box or whatever, like it's within you. And, from what we're listening from your story, like it's great because put you in this position working with Condesa and knowing somebody who would, you never probably cross paths, but Lalo, put you in touch with it.
Yeah.
And
honestly, I still owe him a dinner. I promise.
No, but and also we see you with Condesa because we met you when we first started with Condesa.
Yeah.
And I feel like a couple years ago we went to Puerto Rico. We were in Puerto Rico. And somehow we were at Jungle Bird, and we didn't think you were going to be there. We didn't know you were there. We were there for a couple of days because I was doing a guest bartender.
That was 3 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Time flies.
Yeah.
Yeah, but one of those things is, you connect, and I'm sure this happens a lot with other brands and brands ambassadors, where you guys fly, to different states or different countries, and you get to hang out with each other. And there's this brother-sisterhood that you build, Like, hey, we all from New York. Oh, we all here in France doing something, or in Germany, It's just so beautiful to connect, and, it's undescribable.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, honestly. And I think that's another reason why I love this industry, because you're doing something different, all the time. You're meeting so many different types of personalities, but it's like that human connection is what like fuels me, and I think for you guys too as well. We're people.
Yeah, we're human.
Yes, and
we're real.
We're real people. No, and for me, one of the experiences that I got to meet you, Denise, it was that you are very humble. You're very approachable. You're very friendly, and people who knows you, and they always have good things to say about Denise. And we're also grateful because you were one of the first people that helped us in this industry when we were doing the event, and we approached you, and it was super friendly, but also you were very professional.
Oh.
So I feel like, like I said, this is a very important moment, and in my mind, I tried to say it before, but representation also matters, and I feel like, doing your one pop-ups that you're doing, like seeing all these Latinos, there's like people that they also, because of you and your work, they have the tattoo of Condesa, and it's,
that was so cool.
Yeah. But yeah, let's tell the audience what is Condesa.
Condesa. We are the gin of Mexico. Mexico.
CDMX in Spanish.
Ciudad de Mexico. We're a very young brand. We've only been in the market for like 4.5 years. Condesa, we sold our first bottle in April of 2021. I joined here in the U.S. I was the first employee here in the U.S. and then pretty much kind of like at the same time, Lisa Maris. Have you guys met?
Yeah, Lisa from Puerto Rico.
Yeah, our Puerto Rican queen.
Yeah, she also just had a baby.
She's so freaking
Shout out to Lisa.
Yes.
We love
The baby.
and the baby.
Little
and
Mayita.
Mayita.
Mayita,
Okay.
yeah, Maya. She's super cute. Yeah, I got to meet her when I was in Puerto Rico with her. And she also started with the brand part of the U.S. And Mexico was already super established. We launched in Mexico first because obviously Mexico is not known for gin, but we are now the number 2 premium gin in all of Mexico. So Hendrix is 1, and then we're second. So we're super proud of that.
Well, Henrik is from London, and Condesa is from Mexico. With I think
From La Condesa.
La Condesa.
I don't know if it's from La Condesa.
Yeah. Well, we're inspired by La Condesa. Obviously, you guys know La Condesa is a colonia neighborhood in Mexico City. It's really known for its architecture, lush green parks. Parque Mexico is
Parque Mexico. Is it?
It's my favorite.
Yeah.
It's like a beautiful, like super romantic, like city, and
There's also a lot of art from what I remember.
yeah, it's a very art forward. Like some of the best architects come from that area, and it really kind of shows the essence of like who we are as a brand. And we're trying to showcase more of like a modern Mexico beyond the agave world that Mexico is already known for. And we just really want to show like Mexico, there's many other beautiful spirits that are coming out of there. And where some people ask me like, oh, are you guys going to do anything else? Like, but we're like, no, this is what we know how to do.
And you guys have been making it great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So the first one is Clásica. It's a London dry style of gin. Ilham Salome, she's our master distiller, one of the co-founders, super chingona.
Hashtag chingona. Tag it.
She's such a badass. Like, she's 29 years old.
What?
Yeah, very young, super talented. She distills like other, she has the Flor de Azar that she does with Gabby. She also has Sheila. Sheila is her Mexican aperitif brand.
Yeah, the spicy.
The spicy rico.
Spicy.
Yeah, it's so good. And that was like her first brand that she started with. Won an award for it in 2016. But super talented, and she was working on Condesa for maybe like 3 or 4 years before it actually launched. And Clásica was the first one that came out. It's inspired by curanderas, so shamanistic rituals she really got in touch with like her meditating and exploring. In Mexico, it's a big thing to maybe go to like a curandera. It's like, your ritual of like a cleansing of negative energy. So Clásica is very much inspired by that.
I'm going to put it here. Maybe you can see it if you don't know the bottle. I mean, obviously, the other thing is like these are little condesas.
Yeah, these are the Condesita bottles. We don't have this in the U.S. yet. These are the 375s. I brought them because they travel better. But
Special occasions, you guys. So you guys are seeing it first here.
So I brought these back we got them back from Mexico. But the Clásica has 12 botanicals. So there's Palo Santo, sage, lavender, jasmine, also some citrus, lemongrass, Mexican lime peel, orange peel. So it's a beautiful balance of all 12, inspired again by curandera. And then we have the choconosle, the prickly pear orange blossom. And this one has half of the botanicals that the Clásica has, 6. And this one, she kind of wanted to just encapsulate like a sunset, springtime in a bottle. So it's a little bit more fruit forward in the palate. It has fresh raspberries, coriander, Mexican lime peel, prickly pear, and orange blossom.
Wow, you know what? I kind of want to taste a little bit of that.
Let's try it.
Can I just have a little bit?
We'll start with the Clásica.
Yeah, let's have a little bit. Let's have a little sip just to remind my brain what this gin tastes like. I've had it, and I think it's oh wow, so aromatic.
Yes.
It is.
In mind that I'm actually a little bit under the weather, so I can still smell some of this nuances. That's what you can see my voice. I don't normally have a deeper voice than this.
Mocoso aquí.
Sí. Salud, chicas.
Salud.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here.
Feliz mes de la mujer victoriosa.
Thank you for having
Happy
me.
Women's
Month. Every year, but definitely.
Yes. I mean,
When
every
it's
day
a
is our
weekend.
day.
Yeah. No, this is really good stuff, honestly.
Oh, it's so
Ay,
good.
qué rico. Ay, qué rico, qué
Makes it-
rico.
Que rico, que rico.
It makes it an amazing martini.
I know.
Sure. It's just like really stands out in a martini. A lot of like the Clásica is good for, a lot of your classic cocktails, but I've seen bartenders get super creative with it.
Yeah, martinis.
A French 75, didn't you had it as a yeah.
I made a wine Negroni with that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
pineapple. The way you make
Oh,
classic.
yeah, the one at Freeman's.
Yeah,
So
we
good.
used to have
I
it. Yeah,
remember
it's
that.
amazing. That was back in summer a couple years ago, but we'll bring it back. Who knows?
No, you can make contact with Denise.
Yeah. So this one has 6 different botanicals.
Yeah.
Can I have another vasitos? Porque yo sí soy muy lenturria con. I don't drink that.
I know. We should have made cocktails today, right?
Well,
Yeah, we can make a cocktail. We can take a little 2 minutes and come back with a little.
This one I've seen like people get super creative when it comes to making cocktails. Lisa Maris makes this really good like tropi Negroni also because Puerto Rico is very Caribbean. So
Shout out to Puerto Rico, all the friends of Puerto Rico.
and Ani, I don't know if you guys met Ani when she was here for Mexico. And she's
Oh, you took it to Freeman's. I remember seeing her.
yeah
We kind of crossed it a little bit.
Yeah, she's another one of our brand ambassadors. We have like some dope ass brand ambassadors that are so creative, like
Yeah, I
super
just would
creative and badass.
Yeah, the raspberries are definitely there.
Yeah, it's like lighter. It's not as juniper forward,
Yeah.
and that's why I think people really enjoy making cocktails with this one because it goes down really nice.
yeah, you definitely can feel like the red.
Yeah, and it has like a little bit of the pepper finish at the end.
Yeah, like wait.
Because of their coriander. And then I brought you guys a very special. It's not here. It's only in Mexico. Exclusive to Mexico.
You're getting all the good stuff here.
Yeah. So this is Salmerio. We launched this in November of 2025. It's inspired by Dia de los Muertos. So it has cempasúchil, copal, sandalwood, black pepper, oranges. It's super delicious.
I
So
want to try it.
this one, hopefully, we'll be able to bring it out here. I think New York might get it, but
Well, if we are lucky, maybe.
We are so lucky. Thank you so much for bringing this.
I just got back from Mexico City, so I to bring these back.
Hey guys, if you guys haven't seen Condesa, or you guys haven't tried it, make sure you do reach out to the people, or you're gonna leave her candles right here in the description. Just to get a taste of it, it's always good to taste.
Cheers.
Saludcita otra vez.
Salud.
Oh, sorry. I'm left-handed, so I always do it. Wow, this is good. It's so different. Oh, I do get the marigolds in there.
Right?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's like,
This is
you guys haven't tried this, right?
No.
Yeah.
No, this is the first time I'm trying this.
Yeah. Oh, I love this one.
Wow.
Oh, it's delicious. Also, like, could be a really good martini.
Yeah.
And just a gin and tonic with this is...
Even a 50-50, just equal
Yeah.
parts gin and vermouth. I don't know, be a... Oh, you know what? It's so crazy because my mind starts thinking immediately.
Yeah.
Like Vesper. Because normally you use Koki or any other...
A Vesper.
yeah, exactly.
I love it. I was drinking a lot of Vespers
Yeah.
a couple months ago. Yeah.
So this could probably be a good,
Yeah.
good Vesper too.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, there's so many things you can play with, but I feel like every bartender who's watching right now or listening to us, they're probably be like, I want to try it. I want to see what that Vesper tastes like.
Yeah.
And normally for Vespers we use Koki Americano, or we tend to use Lillet Blanc.
Lillet, yeah.
I think this got some of the floral notes, so sometimes you try to look.
Would
for
you use Lillet or Cookie? You think?
Depending, you know what?
Yeah. I mean, it would work with both.
Probably Lillet Rosso,
Yeah.
because yeah, but it's so good.
Yeah, I really like it.
It's like it's not as dry, but you get some of those nuances of the marigolds and some of those ¿cómo se llama el incienso? What do you call it? Copal.
Copal. Yeah. Sandalwood has sandalwood too as well.
It lingers.
Yeah.
Lingers. It's just like, especially too with the Clásica, and I think with the San Medio, the Palo Santo and sage, it just gives it like a really nice viscosity and like, with it.
Yeah.
A nice kind of like oily feel to it.
I'll probably just drink it by itself the way it's so good. Like you can just put ice into it.
Yeah, and I think I feel like gin is having a moment right now. There's so many cocktails that people are getting really creative, and I see a gin cocktail on the menu pretty much everywhere. But it was kind of known as, I started drinking gin in college. A friend introduced me to like the gin and tonic. I was like, what is this? It's so good. And people would be like, oh, what is this? It's like the old man drink. You have those like really traditional gin lovers that love the juniper. I think it's like an older generation, but I think now, younger people are wanting less of the juniper, but it's still present. Obviously, it has to have juniper for it to be a gin, but it's all the other botanicals kind of like have it as a really nice blend to it.
And I'm happy that you mentioned that the young generations, because yes, we have a new generation, but also we are open to taste more things.
Yeah,
we don't want just to go and have a margarita, for example, right? We want to go and have a vast variety of margaritas, or a redefine margarita with different ingredients. And in this case, I'll probably say gin, like a good gimlet, classic gimlet, with like so many things out there.
So many.
And
there's a cocktail that came out of Mexico City called the Salmoncito, and we're really trying to like push it out because this bartender, Cristian de la Torre, created the Salmoncito, and it's like kind of taken off almost like the Hugo Spritz, but it's like the Mexican Spritz. And we use it with, you can do it with either Clásica or prickly pear, but it has fresh grapefruit juice, a little Campari or like Select, a little bitterness, and then it's topped off with tonic water, and it's super easy to make and refreshing and very easy to
sounds like a groundhog.
Oh yeah, like
Greyhound.
Yeah.
I take on it, but it's
yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
I really like this, honestly.
Yeah, it's really good, right? The San Medio.
Wow, it's really good.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing this.
Yeah.
Elixir of the Goddess, and then Condesa. Shout out to Condesa in Mexico City.
Yeah.
And also, to all the folks who are watching and listening to us, like.
Shout out. No, and forever for whoever is not watching YouTube, and you're listening in your car or you're, wherever you're listening, where can you tell the audience your handle socially?
Yeah, well, for Condesa, it's at Condesa Gin for social media, for IG. My personal is at Denise, with like periods between the N. It's a little complicated, but between the N, you see, but at Denise, you can probably find me.
Yeah. If you guys want to taste it, send you a message or an email. Email is available.
Feel free to. Yeah, my email is super easy. It's denise@condesagin.com.
Yeah, so there you go, guys.
You can reach out because it's very. I remember in one of the interviews that I tried to apply at this restaurant. So they told me like, okay, so what are the spirits that you can recommend? And they told me, tell me a gin. And that was funny because I remember I already met you, but then in my mind was like, Condesa. And he was like, what? And I was like, yeah, this is a Mexican gin. And he was like very, like amazed of like gin, Mexican gin. And then I explained him and he was like, oh, that's cool to know, right? And, we have it at EMP. Yes. And it's super cool like seeing this premium gin and in this type of restaurants because then you feel like, again, representation, and you feel proud of like, oh, there is a Mexican gin there.
Yeah, it's such a good feeling finding Condesa everywhere now. I mean, like 3.5 years ago,
I was
it was, and some Mexican restaurants it was like tough to get them on board because they were like, we don't sell gin. They're like, it's all tequila, mezcal. But I'm like, this is what you need. You need a gin cocktail on your menu. But it's really, really, that's also what I love about like brand building, to see the brand from where it started and not a lot of people knowing about it.
Yeah.
To now, like the amount of people that, and it's really good juice. So they like really appreciate the brand and it's different. It's coming out of Mexico City. Like we really want to be the ones who represent Mexico. That's our home. So.
No, and apart, I'm sorry, but like I was going to say that besides that, people are also very, excited about when it's an event because you guys have the swag. You do like this series of like cool events.
Yeah, that's and that's what's kind of cool because obviously I went to art school, but another really cool thing about my job is like to be creative in that sense, and we really take pride in the type of like events that we put on. We just had our cocktail competition in Mexico City, and
when is happening in New York?
Oh, we had one in January. It was like mid-Jan.
Oh, that's right, Mr. Mello, right?
Yeah, Mr. Mello.
Wow, I missed it. I had to work. Why am I working? Why am I working these days?
Too much work, Edgar. Stop doing that.
Yeah, that was our first ever competition like that I've ever we have ever had in New York. So, and it was our fourth edition of our cocktail competition, and one of our other founders, Ben, he's a creative genius. Like it's kind of crazy all the stuff that like these jackets. Like he had a lot to do with the jackets.
I want one.
But I was like, when I was just in Mexico, we were like, we should start our fashion brand.
You should.
Like, we really should. I think that.
I mean, you have the skills. Why not?
Yeah, like we do. We like to do collabs with different, artists, big in the art space. And this one we did with Prima Volta. It's a brand from Mexico City. And then another one, Mijangos. And so it's kind of cool to like blend all of that together. And we definitely have a visual identity.
Oh, nice. I just want to say something very cool. I'm happy that you mentioned, that Mexican restaurants are known more because they sell a lot of tequila and mezcal and sotol and a lot of gin. But in my own personal opinion, I always say you have to have a menu for everyone.
For everyone. Yeah.
So that means you have to have some whiskey, you have to have some gin, you have to have vodka, everything. But a lot of the restaurants, and they always have margaritas, which is great. And that's what people go for. But one day, like coming from me, my Mexican background, if I want to go to a place and I don't feel like drinking a margarita.
Yeah,
I want to have.
You want something?
Martini. Yeah. Or if I want to have a gimlet or French 75, like you mentioned earlier, right? Something light, easy. There has to be an option, right? So I feel like this is for other people, who's not into like tequila.
Yeah.
You can have, okay, what is in the salmoncito,
Yeah.
And I'm happy you said it because people can drink it.
Yeah.
And, you're going to enjoy the food. You're going to have a good time. It's going to be the same thing. But I think it's important that we say, yes, we need everything. Wine too,
Yeah, it's good to have a variety of everything. And I think like now people are getting that, now it's like the Mexican restaurants do want to have a little bit of everything.
Yeah, but for example, me as a Mexican as well, I go and... if I go to a Mexican restaurant and I see, I don't know, like 20 vodkas or 20 whiskeys or whatever you have, but the moment you see a Mexican or something that is not familiar, I guess curiosity also plays here that I want to try it, right? And one of the things that Edgar always says is like, don't be afraid of trying things. Because then besides not just supporting the brand or the restaurant, but it's kind of like you open your palate to different things. And so when you go to another place that not necessarily has to be Latino or Mexican, and like it cannot be also like Mexican gin, but at least you know that, well, there is more than margaritas and stuff like that. And I feel like, we have also a new generation and very prepared bartenders that they always come with like, ideas of like having a gin with cempasúchil, which is like, for many people who knows, it's like the flor de muerto, the flower that we use during the day of El Día de los Muertos. So I feel like it's very cool that you bring this variety of like also Mexican ingredients, so people know more than just agave.
Yeah, I think it's important to like showcase, all the different types of spirits coming out of.
And I'm so happy that it's the CDMX is there because it's stamp of geographically that's the place. Like it's when you say tequila is from Guadalajara. Tequila. This one here says, I'm from Mexico. Like, this is Mexico City right here, right?
Yeah.
Like, there's no way you can do it in Sonora or any other state. It's from Mexico City.
Yeah, and Mexico City is like one of the best cities in the world. And, so
everybody's going there.
Everyone is going there, literally.
Except for me.
We were there.
One day.
We were just there for Art Week, and it's like people from all over the world, and there's the food. Oh my God, there's so many amazing restaurants, and the cocktail scene has grown so much. And
thank you, Limantur, for doing that also, because this guy
shout
started
out to Limantur. So I'm super proud. I grew up going to Mexico City my whole life. My dad's from there, and now as an adult, I get to like appreciate it in a different way, and I'm super proud of representing like a gin from Mexico City.
And also your roots.
Yeah, and my roots, exactly.
Huh? No, I was going to ask like about your dad. What he says, like, oh, now you're working for a brand from Mexico City.
Is he happy about it? Like, he doesn't understand what...
He doesn't... Yeah, my dad doesn't really understand too much. He's like, what is he? Oh my God, he makes fun of me all the time. But what does he say? Beberecuas or something like that? I don't know what he says. But I think now they don't really understand like what my job is per se.
They just think you were partying, but they don't know.
Yeah, when it's like you're just drinking alcohol, you're out there selling alcohol. But when I first started working for them, and I told him like this brand is from Mexico City, and he's like, "What?" Like, yeah, no, and I think my dad is proud of me for sure. He expresses it in other ways, but
that's how our parents are.
Yeah.
My dad, same thing.
I have a question, like how if everybody also knows that you did Danzón Sabrosón.
Oh yeah,
that's
Can you talk about that?
Yeah. I love that you brought that up. Danzón Sabrosón, my God, when did we start doing that? That was like, I think
2 years ago.
2-3 years ago.
Oh, something like that.
So the first one we did was like insane. I did not expect like for it to like kick off like that.
You have a following.
And super grateful for it. But and I did it with at the time the first one was with Ilegal Mezcal with Herminio. And really, I mean, he came up with the name, and then like let me kind of take over. And that time, it was in March. I think it was March. We had, a couple cumbia DJs, and the party was huge. Yeah, we had also Leo Betanzos, who's our global brand ambassador. She was here behind the bar, and we were at Sobremasa. I was at Sobremasa. Shout out to Sobremasa. Yeah, and that was so much fun. It was so, and then that kind of, I was like, okay, let's do this again, and we did it at a few other places, and I just did one for Christmas. It was like a Christmas special at Aftermath.
Shout out to Aftermath.
Yes. Rudy.
Saludos.
Dominicano.
Oh, he's the best. And it just like really took off. But then I kind of took a little break on the Danzón Sabrosón. But
so much dancing. You can dance a lot.
Yeah, so doing a lot of other different types of events and stuff. But that definitely the first one was like one for the books. It was like so much fun.
That was
I remember.
Thank you guys for coming.
Yeah. No, I missed it, but after he went, and then I was like, I think I was working, but then I saw I was working because I was working at the hospital. I remember.
Oh yeah, I think that was sometime around BCB, wasn't it? Like no.
No, I think it was March. Actually, I think it was like for Women's Month too.
Yeah.
Because we had Leo, our brand ambassador here in town, for that. So I think it was March, if I recall.
Yeah, I can't recall, but I remember having a good time dancing.
Yeah.
Having some, drinks. And the best part of it was having a good time,
Yes, definitely. The dancing and good music and good cocktails, and it's all a good time for sure.
Yeah, and I like every single event that we go and people know about, Condesa. You can see that nowadays also like not Mexican or non-Latinos are coming, and they feel like so happy to listen like Mexican cumbia.
Yeah.
And, I feel like the most important thing is like, bringing that community and see that this Latino, we're here.
And
we're here. That's right. Like Bad Bunny said, seguimos aquí.
So I'm like, no, but like that's what the industry is all about, right?
Yeah.
Like we go to a whiskey van, we go to a wine tasting if that's the case. We go to parties. We go like we try to socialize. We humans, we need to connect with other people. From the moment you walk out of your house,
connect with them. Yeah.
from the moment you just go out the door, it's a new world, right? Because you're gonna meet somebody, you're gonna run into someone, and it's just like
Yeah, you never know. Exactly. Like you never know who you're gonna meet, and New York is like that's what New York represents.
Yeah.
And that's why I love this city, because it's like a melting pot of
so diverse,
so many cultures, and I think that's beautiful. And music is universal, and you connect with.
Yeah,
with
that's what we love New York.
Yeah.
New York, New York.
Before we go, I have to ask you this. As a Chicagoan, what is your favorite deli sandwich?
Deli
New York.
sandwich? Oh, in New York? Yeah. Oh, okay. I have two. Can I say two?
Yeah.
What's my deli order? Okay, there's a deli by me. It's called Pronto, and they make the best turkey club sandwich. The best. But also a chopped cheese.
You can never go wrong with
I
chopped
love
cheese.
a chopped cheese, you know, when
Send us the address, we go.
do you have a favorite one?
I don't, but like we're on an adventure trying to find the best chopped cheese.
Yeah?
Not the best, but like, we try to go try different things.
Yeah. What's been your favorite one?
Honestly, I'm always more on a bagel with ham and cheese. I'm like, that's my breakfast.
Okay, a big
Chopped cheese,
Yeah.
when it's available, yes.
Yeah. Oh, only I've only ordered it like when, late nights. But a chopped cheese is really good. Or if not, like I usually do a turkey club.
Savory.
Yeah.
I want it actually.
Yeah, no, I'm always, even if it's nice, there's like some delis that they have the grill working at night. I always want like a egg sandwich. Like
An egg sandwich?
Oh, like
At any
like a
time?
roll or like cereal. I like to eat, so I
Just
can eat
an
the
egg
whole-
sandwich?
with a little bit of tomato and queso fresco or like tropicana.
I haven't tried that.
Yeah,
so.
I love it. And jalapenos. Always.
That sounds
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming, Denise. It was a pleasure. It was amazing that you finally accepted. No, because I know you're
She's
very busy. But
no, I couldn't say no to you guys.
thank you so much. Thank you so
I love you guys. No,
We love you too. and many, we always have this say that we were very fortunate since we met you, but also during this process of the podcast, the community has been very kind of supporting us, and please still doing it. And like we said, always tip your bartenders. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to our channel. Please follow us on Instagram, and you can listen also, every platform that you have out there. We have our webpage.
For more episodes, www.bartalkingbar.nyc.com. Before we go, would you like to send any shout-outs, acknowledge someone, and say something? The mic is yours.
Well, shout out to like everyone who I've met in the industry. I'm super grateful for like everyone in New York who has helped me in some kind of way. And my team here in Eric, Diego, Edna, who am I forgetting? Rob, we just hired Rob in Denver, Carlos, Luis, and all of our brand ambassadors in Mexico and Puerto Rico. And I'm super grateful for everybody.
Yeah, thank you so much, Denise.
Thank you.
Thank you. Let me give you a high five. Thank you for today. Marie, thank you for another episode.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you guys. Thank you.
Thank you for bringing this and to try it. And see you next time, guys. Thank you.
Sayonara, amigos. Cuídense, pórtense mal, escóndalo bien y díganlo todo. For subtitles, go to our YouTube channel. Adiós.
Bye-bye.
Bye.